Hello everyone, welcome to another weekly analysis on Emini futures. This is the NQ futures and today is Saturday, September 10th, and this is the weekly analysis going into the week of September 12th. Let's jump directly into our analysis. Have a quick look at what's the calendar is looking into the next week. And I'm just quickly scanning and I don't see anything that is major besides the Fed balance sheet around Thursday. So obviously GDP is there for sure, and let's see what happens on the house price index. But keeping that into account, we just had more of a trend day, and hence when the market trends, after that the market chops. So I'm hoping for the first few days the market chops going into next week. We'll start with the monthly. I want to bring some patterns into your notice to a notice. First pattern, if you can see, it's forming a bear pennant here. So it's sold off, then having squeeze here. Market is going up, definitely oversold on the monthly, and you can see that it is now, it's making higher lows but not higher highs. That looks like a bear pennant to me, and let's draw a similar view of how a bear pennant looks from the 2008 era. You can see there was a sell-off, then 3 months of strong buying, hits that trend line, sells off, again hits the trend line for 2 months, and then breaks that pennant and just completely sells off. When you see month to month forming like this kind of a base, that's where your bottom is. So it's always good to really look at larger time frame to see where you are. It does look like now the market is going up, but in my opinion that's a bear pennant information as of now. Keeping that in mind, definitely we are been on the oversold territory here, and look at going back to 2008. If you see here, when we are in an oversold territory like here, you can see almost for next 3 months it squeezed up. So we want to be on the right side of the trade. We are swing traders, maybe on a weekly or a few days, so we want to be the right side of the trade. As of now, that looks like a squeeze happening. So I'm going to remove these trend lines, so at least to clear up the charts, and also remove this trend line. And I'll keep these prices here because those are some of the targets that we'll be diving into. And let's look into our weekly here. And if you look at the weekly, there's definitely that channel that we're talking about. And let me draw that channel. And it's important to draw these channels. So I have talked about how to draw these channels again and again. So I will try to do my best here. So when I look at this channel, it broke out of this channel, and again my expectation was that if it breaks out of the channel it'll just keep breaking out, but market doesn't work on my expectation, and look what it did. It just reversed that channel and starts going up. Now, did I draw this channel wrong? Maybe, but just looking at previous channels, I want to still show that to you, at how market can change, and that's why it's very important to go by price action rather than predictions. This came right around here, so that's that level here. So I would think that was a big rejection candle here on a weekly basis, so that's a very strong support there. So I will add a support right there. So that's a very strong support. Did not come all the way down there, but it's definitely now going into this channel, and we can see here this topping tail here, not a very strong topping tail, but also we can see that there was a topping tail there. That's bottoming tail on this weekly one, hence I added that as resistance, and we will look into the daily to clearly see why that is a resistance. On the daily, before I dive further, if I can get your attention to this level, and that was too much zoomed in, so let's look at that here, and I'm going to remove these channels from here so that it's a little bit clear. This is a head and shoulder pattern. That's the head, there is the left shoulder, there is the right shoulder, and that's the neck there, right there. And that also matches to our price level that we're looking at. So that's definitely a very, very strong level to short from. I'm definitely going to try a short from there. As of now, we can see another on this daily, another support, resistance area is here at 12,640, 12,650, and it did break that, and it's around 12,670, 12,670. Round number is 13,000. So I'm guessing from you know, sorry, I meant 12,700. So I'm guessing it will try to reach there to that 12,800. Now I want to draw a trend line here. Actually, let's go into the 4-hourly, and I would like to draw a trend line from, I don't want to draw a channel, I want to draw a trend line. So this trend line here, it's right at that trend line if there is a possibility of a small rejection there. So I'm going to add a rejection there right at that trend line here. So that's 12,656 area. So this is my plan going into next week. If this area is retested from the top, I'm going to try to take a long to definitely try a very target this 12,800 area. I'm definitely going to try a short there because that's the neck of this head and shoulder pattern. And what I'm being careful, the culmination of multiple pivot points. So the trend line is here, right here, and then to make sure that if that is the area where it sold off from here, right there. And let's look here to see if there is any other demand areas. Yes, you can see rejection had a very, very strong push to go through that one, so got rejected through that and got rejected from here, and there's a trend line. So definitely a strong demand area. If it does not break 12,650 to 12,700 area, I'm going to take a short. I do not have any position in NQ going into next week, but I'm going to take a short if it does not break through that area. I'm going to give it some breathing points. NQ can move easily 100 to 120 points, so I'm going to give it 100 to 120 points of breathing space. So that means I'll try like maybe long at 12,720 or something like that, targeting 12,800 if it breaks this support, and vice versa. So I'll try like short something around 12,600, then targeting all the way down here. That's the support area from where it broke out, and that would become my target. Point to be taken that as of now the market is really over bought in the 4-hourly. And before I get out of the 4-hourly, let's quickly look at any gaps here. As I'm scanning through, there may be a small gap here. Yeah, there is a small gap here, so that's right around price target there. So there is a gap fill there around 346, and I'm looking through here to see any gap fills here. There is definitely a gap fill here, which is 11,832, but that's way far away. So till we don't get there, we don't need to worry about it. But definitely there is a gap here and a very strong topping tail that got rejected and had to move, gapped up and moved up. So we should, like, I will target for that area for sure. Let's look at the daily here, and I'll try to also include the extended hours here. On the daily, as you can see, it is not oversold. So by itself it doesn't mean anything, but definitely there is this trend line, and we know that's the resistance it's trying to break. So if it breaks that and it is not yet completely, you know, over bought area, I would think it will break that trend line, and on retest of that from the top, that support area, as I said, I'm going to try around the 12,700 or so, 720 or so range to target 12,800. Again, trading is never perfect, so will I, you know, give a few points on the table, leave few points on the table? For sure, definitely. But my goal is not to catch the bottom or the tops. My goal is to be consistent and have a higher win ratio, and not blow up my account. As always, keep your stop losses tight, your losses small, and your profit at large. Thank you for listening.